Hello, everyone. Welcome to In the Cordon, the place where every cricketer wants to be. I'm your host, Callum Duck, and thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the podcast. Well, day one at the Gabba is done and dusted with England in a very strong position in the Test match after Captain Ben Stokes won the toss and elected to bat. Obviously, batting first in day-night cricket, you can guarantee that you're going to bat in the daylight if you choose to bat first and potentially can dictate the game. But England were in some serious trouble early with Mitchell Starc causing havoc with the new ball. Ben Duckett gone for a golden duck and Ollie Pope also gone for a duck chopping on from Mitchell Starc. And then from there, it was Zak Crawley and Joe Root who were really able to steady the ship from an England point of view. Crawley actually played really nicely for 76 here. Root was obviously supporting him well. The two of them were rotating strike. At points, Steve Smith had some fielders deep on the boundary. I don't particularly like that tactic that I've seen from Australia for quite some time. Been really critical of it in the 2023 Ashes, but they continue to do it because they think it's effective against Bazball. Joe Root, the star of the day, finished on 129 not out. His maiden Test 100 here in Australia. And now that I think the monkey's off his back, I think he's going to score at least one more 100 in the series. I thought he was superb today. The way that he was able to bat with Jofra Archer at the end, they were able to put on 60 plus for the last wicket partnership. And those 60 runs could be critical because, it depends how quickly Australia can knock them off tomorrow. But at least a positive from Australia point of view is they are guaranteed to be batting in the daylight tomorrow for a large portion of the day. And that's going to be really critical with Travis Head and Jake Weatherald at the top of the order, two very attacking players. I just wanted to talk about some key points in the game. So England were 5 for 210 after the amazing run out of Ben Stokes by the second wicketkeeper in the team, Josh Inglis. And I thought that the way that he was able to affect this game, it almost gave me flashbacks to James Vince getting run out by Nathan Lyon on 83 at the Gabba in 2017. I just thought at the moment, this is going to have such an impact on the game. And then we saw England 8 and 9 down for 264 with Jacks and Bryden Cast gone very, very quickly together. But yeah, over 60 runs for the last wicket partnership. How telling is this going to be in the game? We'll have to wait and find out. If we just head back to the start of the day, team selection wise, I didn't hate the idea of playing Will Jacks at number 8 and having him bowl some handy off spin. I don't know how England can go back to Bashir after this. I think it's a pretty rough snubbing because they've been sort of grooming him for this moment for a good 2 years now. And I'm just not sure that they can go back to Bashir, whether his confidence is going to be totally wrecked if he managed to get picked for Adelaide or Boxing Day in Melbourne. You'd think Sydney, they'd be wanting to play a spinner, but it's definitely an attacking move from England. I thought Jacks looked okay with the bat today. He was able to score 18, 19, 20 runs. But yeah, he's definitely a batsman who bowls. He's not an off spinner first and a batsman second. He's definitely a batsman first. We've seen him bat top of the order in white ball cricket for England, top of the order for Mumbai Indians. So yeah, I didn't mind the selection, but at the same time, it questions why is Bashir even on this tour at this point if they're not going to have the faith to pick him. And then for the Australian point of view, they decided to drop Nathan Lyon, which I think was a mistake. But, in hindsight, it's always easier to make these calls. But Nathan Lyon hasn't missed a test match since Australia went in with Hilfenhaus, Siddle, Ryan Harris and Mitchell Starc against India at the WACA in 2012. Nathan Lyon did miss the last pink ball game that Australia played, where they wanted to play Scott Boland in Jamaica. Scotty Boland took a hat-trick. Mitchell Starc took 6 for 9 to bowl out the Windies for 26, 27. So, yeah, I think it was the wrong move. I thought Nisa bowled okay. I think Doggett wasn't as impressive today as what he was in Perth, but I still don't think that they're using Brendan Doggett properly. And I'm not sure whether this is a Steve Smith thing or this is what the coaching staff are wanting Brendan Doggett to do. But this back of a length or shortish sort of pace barrage, he's not that type of bowler. He's not Cummins, who can really dig it in. Obviously, Cummins and Hazelwood are a lot taller bowlers. Doggett's a bit more skiddier, in my opinion. So, yeah, I thought that was a particularly interesting move. I think if you wanted to play Nisa, it needed to be in place of Brendan Doggett, and then obviously allows you to strengthen the batting by having Michael Nisa at 8, Mitchell Starc at 9, and then Lyon and Boland as your 10 and 11. But we'll see later in the game whether they're calling out for a spinner. Inglis in batting at number 5. Well, I think he's actually listed to bat at number 7 based on the social media post that I saw naming the side, and at the expense of Usman Khawaja. I don't know whether this is a polite way to slowly transition Khawaja out of this team very quickly, or whether his back is a genuine issue. And if his back continues to be a genuine issue, then he's clearly done, in my opinion. If he was able to get himself up for Adelaide, he's some possibility of playing, but I genuinely think it depends on how well Head does at the top of the order in this game and whether Weatherald scores some runs. So if either of those two score some runs, I don't see Khawaja getting back in this team, and that would be the end of his Test career, which would be a shame. He's been such a great player for Australia for quite a period of time, particularly since he came back into the team 21, 22, twin hundreds against England. And then since that point, he's been averaging about 45 in Test cricket as an opener, which is phenomenal since coming back in at the age of 35. But I think he's probably done. I think this was a polite way to get him out of the team, but that's just my opinion. One thing that was a massive issue today was the over rates. And I understand with Australia playing 5 seamers, and if you include Cameron Green, that the over rate is going to be slow, but not a single over of spin was bowled today. Travis Head, not even like a token spin over before lunch sort of thing, or just to see how it plays. Could this come back to bite Australia in the arse later in the game, particularly with World Test Championship points up for grabs, and for slow over rates, you lose a point for every over that you are behind. But I was listening to Simon Towfoot on the Channel 7 commentary. Unfortunately, KO wasn't working for me due to my classic NBN. But they were saying that if the innings is under 80 overs, then there are no fines or penalties for overrates. So Australia will certainly be hoping to knock England off under 80 overs. Some key things that I do want to talk about today. I thought the keeping of Alex Carey was absolutely outstanding today. And generally, if we're not talking about a keeper, it means they're doing a pretty good job. But Alex Carey deserves some genuine praise, keeping up to the likes of Nisa and Boland. Not an easy task, but it's definitely something he's improved at from when he first came into the Australian side. He's running back with the flight of the ball, getting knocked over by Marnus and still taking the catch. I have no absolute idea what Marnus was doing there. You need to get out of the keeper's way. That is 100% a keeper's catch any day of the week. He does not need to insert himself into that moment. But Carey, seriously outstanding. Hopefully it gives him some confidence with the bat for an Australian point of view. Mitchell Starc, once again, 6 wickets today. continues to show the dominance in this series, but continues to show the dominance with the pink ball. His averages with the pink ball is still going to continue to go down, and it's amazing that he's been able to go past Wasim Akram now and is the greatest left-arm seamer of all time in terms of number of wickets taken. Obviously, there will be many debates in the cricket community about who is the best left-arm seamer ever. I'm still of the opinion that Wasim Akram is the greatest left-arm seamer. But Mitchell Starc is certainly putting himself in the conversation, and I certainly think that Mitchell Starc could play another couple of years of Test cricket. He looks really fit at the moment. He's bowling with good pace. His control is excellent. Really got Australia off to a flyer today. That ball to Ben Duckett first up was an absolute cracker, and both of Duckett's feet were on the crease, neither forward or back. So healthy edge to a new look slip scoring for Australia. Marnus Labuschagne at first slip and Josh Inglis at third. Pope, very poor. If we're talking about those two wickets, Ollie Pope, extremely poor shot. He's just put himself back under pressure again. I know Jacob Bethel didn't set the world on alight in the Prime Minister's 11 game, but I think Pope has certainly done enough from the Perth Test match to get a go in Adelaide, but whether he scores runs in Adelaide, I think, will dictate whether he continues to retain his place in the side. Crawley's obviously helped himself with 76 today. I never thought that they were realistically going to drop Crawley. I think if he comes off 3 out of the 10 innings that England play in this series, then he's done his job, and they've seemed very eager to keep him at the top of the order. And then Harry Brook just throwing his wicket away, did the hard work, got himself in, was really controlling the game with Joe Root at that point, and then just threw that wicket away. First ball back of Mitchell Starc's spell. But the key moment in the day was Inglis's run out of Ben Stokes, and for a wicketkeeper to do that, and it was great that Ricky Ponting was on the commentary at that point in time, because he was able just to sum up this run out perfectly, explain the throwing mechanics of it, explaining from a side-on angle with one stump to aim at, with your momentum going, moving forward, how you would need to throw that ball correctly. So, it was great to listen to Ponting do that. Hopefully, Inglis can score some runs with the bat to justify his selection, because I thought Bo Webster was extremely hard done by not getting picked at that spot. I thought Green could have moved up to number 5 and Webster gone to number 6. But yeah, at the end of day one of this Test match, England are in front for me. I think 325 after winning the toss and electing to bat first. And going at over 4.3 runs and over in the day, I think put them in a healthy position. I think that England still missed a trick by not declaring. I think with half an hour left in the day, you had to pull the trigger and get Weatherald and potentially Head under lights with a brand new pink ball and see if you can make inroads. And even if England got one wicket, I think it would have been justified. It would have been a vindicated decision. If you had got 2, it was a bonus, but you could have potentially had Australia 3 down tonight if you bowled well. I don't think Jofra Archer would have been the easiest player to pick the ball up under lights. A few players you could see they were struggling to see the ball at point. So I still don't think day-night cricket is perfect, but I certainly love the modern innovation of the concept. But for me, England in front, first day, Joe Root 129, Jofra Archer with some handy runs as well, Mitchell Starc 6 wickets. I think if Australia can bat the full day pretty much tomorrow, get past, if they can get 50 to 75 in front of England's first innings total, I think it's going to be a great Test match, and I certainly think all results are possible at the end of day one. So thank you very much for watching this episode. Make sure that you stay tuned to all of our social media and wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll see you on the next episode. Cheers.